Barakta Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is The Spirit is Heavy. And pretty much, I was watching a video the Elder Pastor was doing last night. I was watching it actually this morning, dealing with the IUIC based off of a video that the Elder Karata Zaba out of the Baltimore camp was doing, pretty much playing on the name. And years ago, Bishop Nathaniel had called the Apostle Tahar, and told him about a situation that took place at the House of David after they kicked us out, to where the individuals there were not, they were commanded not to keep the laws. We're not under the laws anymore. So to prove that we're not under the laws, you got to eat pork. And pretty much, I believe it was, I'm not sure what day that was, but I don't know if it was the next day or a couple of days later, 14 individuals didn't show up, and when Elder Pastor from time to time, the Spirit has him mention that dialogue, I guess, between him and Bishop Nathaniel. And one time on 34th and 7th, he was speaking, mentioned it, and there just happened to be one of the individuals of the 14 there in the audience to show you how heavy the Spirit is. The Lord confirmed that, because Pastor, he's not lying about it, but that was even more confirmation that these things happen. So sometimes we'll say certain things, and then the Spirit will confirm it, by an action or a person or something happening, to let the listeners, because Apostle R didn't need convincing, he already knew, but that was like just more, more spaghetti for the plate, so to speak, and it's, it's just heavy how, sometimes you'll speak about a certain particular topic, or you may mention an Edomite, or you might mention, the Judite woman, or, whatever you may be speaking about, and the Lord will send something through, or a person through, or a confirmation that what you're saying is actually correct, So the Spirit is heavy, man. All we got to do is just follow along in the Spirit, because, this knowledge, this truth that we speak, it's, we have a saying here, strike while the iron is hot. So when the Spirit comes in, you got to jump on it, and obey, do what the Spirit says to do, and because there's times when, I'm sure all of you brothers have witnessed times where the Spirit was just not on you. And although you may have wanted to do a lesson or do, particular, you might even have the lesson locked and loaded, ready to go, but the Spirit just wasn't moving you at that moment, but then when that Spirit hits, that's when it's time to strike. So St. John 3:8, it says, the wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. And this is why it's hard for certain individuals to follow along, because their frequency is not tuned in to the Holy Spirit. Their frequency is turned still on a low level in this world. And even the elect, when they're still a part of the world before they come into this truth, their frequencies are very low until the Lord turns the frequency up when he allows them to hear this word. Now, there's certain traits that the elect would have, and certain things that, they would, be somewhat privy to spiritually, but they're still in a low frequency when they're out in the world until they come into the truth. So if you're not in tune with the spirit, you're not going to be able to follow along. And what's going to happen is that this truth is going to be like a very distasteful thing to you. When we go to chapter 2, all right? I like to go here because it brings out the when you speak these words. Matter of fact, before I go there, let me get this one precept that Yahushua spoke of. I like to quote this from time to time. Let me see. It has no place. See if it'll come up like this. Okay, about half. Yep. St. John 8:37. I know that you are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me because my word hath no place in you. All right. Now, same book of St. John. We're going to read this one, and I'm going to jump back there. St. John 6:63. It says, it is the spirit that quickens. See, so you have, the carnal side, the fleshly side, and you have the spiritual side. The carnal side tends to always want to just, do comfort things of the flesh. Spiritual side wants to be constantly connected into the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because the spirit quickeneth. The word quickeneth means to make alive. And I don't have to tell you brothers out there that have experienced, that surge of energy that comes into you, when you're teaching this word, especially when you're fully locked in. First you may not be in the spirit. You might start speaking, say a few words here and there. But when you're fully locked in the spirit, you feel this surge of this energy, like nothing else. And that's the spirit quickening. Your thoughts are clear. Everything makes sense. You can break anything down. But then there's other times where you're not in that spirit, where, you might be stumbling on your words a little bit here and there, but when the spirit is locked, you could hear it you don't even have to see a brother their face to face. You can hear it in their spirit when they're locked and in tune with the spirit. Everything is just precise and clear. Now, there's times where you be in the spirit and you might stumble on words and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just being fully locked in the spirit, because we don't speak eloquently. We don't speak, like these so-called scholars and professors at universities. All right. So it says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. And this is why there's always a constant battle between the flesh and the spirit. Because the flesh wants comfort. The flesh wants, feelings. It wants, to feel good. But the spirit, wants to, get into the deep things. But knowing that when you get into this truth, there's a lot of, tribulations and things that come with it. Because in order for you to be fully exercised in the spirit, you have to go through those tribulations, through those trials, because those trials is what's pretty much molding you, to be able to carry this beautiful knowledge, in our vessels. It says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. See? So these words is when the scriptures speak about being born again, that means that we were dead in the world. We were among the valley of the dry bones. And when the word of the Lord came into us, which was that breath, it brought us to life, and that life, became that's why the Apostle Paul spoke about walking in newness of life. The newness of life is, not catering to your flesh like you used to in the world, but catering more to the spirit and the spiritual growth of your spirit. I was just watching earlier. I was watching the Elder Yashawamba's video he did, about the sincere milk of the word. You have a lot of individuals that push that off Why? Because it's just too simple, it's too basic, but when you really get into the nuts and the bolts of it, the basic scriptures are deep. The basic scriptures are deep. You have to look at it from the point of view of when we were in the world, right? To when the Lord transitioned us into the truth. How deep, when we first heard the word, those basic things were so deep to us. And you have to understand that there are still Israelites out there that are still learning about this. So the way we felt when we first came in of how deep those milk scriptures are, that's how they feel about it. Because the milk scriptures are very deep. But, individuals that come into this, they see men that have been laboring in this truth for a while, and they see, them getting this praise or whatever the case may be, or they see how they're working in the spirit, and they covet that. Scriptures say covet to prophesy, covet to be like Yahushai, Let me read this one off the comment board. Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Right. Because the spirit wants to do things, but the flesh is what holds you back. There's another one in the Apocrypha who speaks about the mind musing upon many things. If brothers know where that's at, Baba Kushab, you could post that. This is Sirach 3:21 through 23. Seek not out things that are too hard for thee, right? And Yahushua said, my yoke is easy. We're commanded one thing and one thing alone, baby, and that's to teach this word. He said, you love me? You want to prove your love to me? Feed my sheep, feed my lambs. That's how we prove our love to Yahweh Bashim and Yahushua. It says, neither search the things that are above thy strength. Right. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. Right. Meaning you do the things that the Lord commanded us. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Right. And when we get back to 1 Corinthians 2, it's heavy, man. Hopefully I can remember part of this quote here. It says, be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. And that's the truth, man. We know more than the average person out here understands. And this is why they're so upset. And this is why it says these men that have turned the world upside down. Because what we teach goes contrary to the status quo, the things that are readily available or readily acceptable. We come from a different wavelength. And this is why if you really examine all of these different religions, right, no matter what denomination they are, for the most part, they're all teaching the unity of all nations, And that's not what the scriptures teach. Now, on the other hand, when we teach, we're teaching on a different wavelength. And that's why these people get upset, because it doesn't fall in line with the worldview of this world. In most cases, you could call it what they call a Christian worldview. We don't have the Christian worldview, because the Lord does not have a Christian worldview that comes out of his Bible. That Christian worldview is something that was added into there. It was injected into there. That's why you have these so-called apologists that have something called replacement theology or supersessionism. When the scriptures tell you not to take anything away from the Bible or add anything to the Bible, but they feel compelled to take it away from the scriptures, because if they don't take Israel out the equation, then their madness won't work. Let's see. Two brothers put the same scripture. Wisdom of Solomon 9:15. For the corruptible body through water presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind that museth upon many things. And that's why, we can't, like, even the scriptures speak about condemning ourselves, so on and so forth. But we have to stay in tune with the spirit, because the flesh doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? The flesh doesn't fulfill the deeds of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And as Yahushua said, his meat was to do the will of the Father and to finish it. That should be our attitude too. And if that's not your attitude, get an attitude. You get your attitude arranged or rearranged, or you're gonna fall away. You're gonna be destroyed. All right. Beautiful. St. John. I feel like I'm just choosing and picking a few of these different ones you brothers are putting up. It says, St. John 17:14, I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Right. That's why it says, even the spirit of truth. We got to get that one too. So let me read this. Hopefully I can remember. Hold on. Let me just type in here. Okay, just so hopefully I can read. Matter of fact, let's do it like this. Cut. All right, so it says, St. John 6:63, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. And this is our life source. This is as important as blood is to the body. That's why this word is known as the blood. The blood of Yahushua is known as water. It's known as blood. It's known as bread. These are important, nourishing, things for the spirit. You got to remember, we're being bombarded by fleshly shit all the time, everywhere. And unbeknownst to most people, when you see like certain signs, certain pictures, certain colors, it has an effect on our psyche. But the Spirit of the Lord keeps us shielded from that. If you watch the movie They Live, they show you, how you have these different billboards and, different signs up. And it's pretty much a thing of mind control, consume, obey, so on and so forth. But the Spirit has us protected from that. Why? Because we have those spiritual shades on, for lack of better words. So St. John 8:37, I know that you are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me because my word or my spirit hath no place in you. Now, going back here, St. John 3:8, the wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. It's constantly moving, It's unpredictable. Let's go here. St. John 14, I'm going to start at 15. It says, if you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he will give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. See? Why can't the world receive it? Because they don't have the necessary ingredient in them, which is that thawah. Right? When you go to the book of Ezekiel, we're going to come back to this. For those of you newer members, when you go to the book of Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, right? This is a vision. It says here, the vision of slaughter, which was the Lord sent. He sent an angel to destroy these wicked men that were, that were committing abominations. They were committing sacrilege, and they were doing things that they were not supposed to do, and that they knew better than to do it. So the angel told him, look, go. The Lord told the angel right here in Ezekiel 9:4, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. Now back then, you actually had the city Jerusalem, and you had the Israelites that were there. But today, Jerusalem represents the people, because the Lord chose the people for the place for the people's sake, and not the other way around. And here it says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. It is no different today. Those that are sighing and crying for all of the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, that's because there's something within you that's crying out. So when you look up that word mark right there, right, in the Hebrew, the word there is thawa, thawa. And that's why it's important to look up your words, because if you just read it face value, okay, it's just a mark, okay. But when you read it, it says desire, mark, and then it says here, mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. See, that's the exemption from judgment. So that constant crying out and sighing, that's a part of the mark of the Lord upon Jake. And that is also a form of purging. And I'm explaining what I mean by that. 1 Corinthians 11 and 32. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, meaning when we go through our trials and tribulations, that we should not be condemned with the world. Why? Because the world is already condemned, because the world is under the vibration of the, how people think in this world. 1 John 5:19, and we know that we are of the Most High, and the whole world lieth in wickedness. So how do we know that we are of the Most High? Because of the Spirit that dwells within us. It says, know ye not that Yahweh shall dwell in you, save you be reprobate? So this is how we know that the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with us, because of the Spirit that we have and the desires and the inspiration, and times when you don't feel the Spirit and you desire to be in the Spirit, you desire to teach, because we desire to please Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And we wait patiently for the Lord to give us, the next, task, the next inspiration. We're just sitting there waiting, while we're waiting, maybe watching the videos, watching different things, watching certain news things, or on the economy, or World War III, or whatever the case may be, and waiting for the Spirit to hit us to be able to edify the sheep and the lamb, And before that, we're pretty much miserable until we get that next, task. Because prior to that, you feeling low in the Spirit, sometimes you feel like the Spirit is leaving you. Sometimes you feel like the Lord ain't dealing with you, until you get that surge back, until you get that next task, until you're fully immersed in this word, and that's why the scriptures say that these scriptures are the comforter, because that comforts us, in these, in those times. Because the battle is within ourselves. The Apostle Gabar always speaks about that. We're our biggest enemies. The battle of this truth really lies within ourselves. We're the main obstacle that gets in our way. And when we are able, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to get past that, them demons know that. That's why they're constantly trying to tack on stuff more and more. And they're trying to constantly frustrate us, from getting linked into the scripture, into the Spirit of the Lord. It's like when you got your phone and you get in your car, and sometimes you're trying to link the Bluetooth or the Android, whatever, to your phone, so it could be connected with the car and with the system. And sometimes it doesn't go through, and you get frustrated. Well, that's how it is in the Spirit. And then that's like them demons. That's tanament. It's a $50 word for y'all. To them demons, causing that friction. Remember, scriptures say that Satan is the prince of the power of the air, causing that friction and that opposition, because they don't want us to get connected. Because they know once we get connected, that's problems for them. I don't want problems. I want problems. They know it's a problem. So it says, and we know that we are the Most High, and the whole world lieth in wickedness. So the people of the world are linked in to the Bluetooth of wickedness. While we desire to link in and stay linked in to the spirit of righteousness, to the Bluetooth of righteousness. All right. Yeah, beautiful. Salaki, I'm not reading all you brothers' comments, so please forgive me. Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch or wait and watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So now let's go from there to St. John 14:17 again. It says, even the spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But you know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. And I'll be honest, I did a short video yesterday and I felt bad. I was feeling bad that I didn't do a longer video. I was feeling bad that the spirit didn't hop on me to do more, to do another one, to do something longer, And I was feeling bad about that, But you know what? It's okay, because sometimes, the spirit give you a little something. Sometimes the spirit give you a lot of something. And we just got to embrace it when it comes and the abundance that it comes in, But nevertheless, it's more than the average person in the world is doing. It says, because it seeth him not, see? And that's why the wicked Pharisees and them, they wanted to kill Yahushua because the spirit of the Lord was not in them. And it was contrary to what they learned. It was contrary to their teachings. It went against the grain, and they were so annoyed with it that all they wanted to do was get rid of it for good. It says, neither knoweth him, but you know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. That's why Yahushua says there will be a constant supping. Now, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 2. Matter of fact, no, let me go to the one there. His brother put it up, but he put it up the first at the bottom. But I want to start here. 1 Corinthians 2:9. The brother from the Houston camp, Korai Bad, he put up a scripture earlier in Ezra's, where it spoke about that more things were revealed to us than pretty much that are revealed to these people in the world, right? It says, but as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. And in this preparation, we are led by the Spirit. Yahushua said, in my Father's house are many mansions. To the average person, they don't know what the hell that means. That's talking about out in space. And that mansions are talking about all those planets out there. And when you talk like that, people think that you're nuts. But the Lord set that up out there for us. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 40. I was going to make a little joke, but nah, I ain't going to say that. Right. Isaiah 40:22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. What is the circle of the earth? That's the ozone layer. What was the purpose of the ozone layer? It's, for lack of better words, a radiation belt to keep the outer atmosphere from coming into the inner atmosphere. Just like you have the bounds of the sea, there's a different, atmosphere in the waters than there is on earth. And then that's the boundary. Well, the ozone layer or that radiation belt is the boundary between the outer atmosphere, space, and the inner atmosphere, earth and the skies. Skies, It says, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, right, in the sight of the Lord. It says, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain and spreadeth them out as a tent to what? To dwell in. Because there's places out there that are to be inhabited. And that's what Yahushua did. When we go to St. John chapter 14, right? Yeah, because I got rid of that. Chapter 14:1, It says, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in the Most High, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. See? So that's why it says, matter of fact, let me see if I type it in like this. Oh man, it came up the whole thing. Oh damn. Right, Psalms 16:11. Thou will show me the path of life. And this is what we're on. We're on the path of life, the tree of knowledge of good. We already learned the bad side. So now we're getting to learn the new or the good, and then our bodies will be changed, the upgrade will come, and then we'll be perfect. In thy presence is fullness of joy. And oh boy, is it not so? No. It says, at thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. You know, that's why we read in Corinthians, I have not seen neither ear heard the things which the Lord has prepared for them that love him. So Yahushua said that there's a place that he prepared for us. And if I go prepare and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. See? So this is what we're waiting for. Let's go to Matthew. Yahushua said he wasn't going to leave us comfortless. So even in our most, at the time where we feel the lowest, Yahushua is still there. Might back off a little bit just to see what we're going to do. So what you going to do? But at the end of the day, he's there. Matthew 28:20, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. So be true. So Yahushua is always there. And you got to understand, no one else really understands more than Yahushua what we're going through. Because he actually went through it. The angels wish they could look into this. Come down here and deal with what we're dealing with. Because that's how connected they are with the Most High, Yahweh. But Yahushua was actually here. So he knows. That's why the prayer in St. John, the 17th chapter, he prayed for his elect. Just like King Solomon, who is also Yahushua, if you can receive it in the spirit, prayed for the Israelites that went off and came back to the Lord. It's a prayer. St. John 17 is a prayer that Yahushua prayed to the Lord for his elect. All right, so let's go to 1 Corinthians again, 2:9. But as it is written, I have not seen, neither ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High has prepared for them that love him. We go to that word prepared. Let me see. The kingdom is... I can't think of the whole wording. It's something Yahushua said. Well, you know what? A good one is St. John. No. Luke 17 and 20. It says, and when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of the Most High should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of the Most High cometh not with observation, neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Shai, is within you, which is what? This knowledge. It's already within us. So the kingdom of heaven is here because What are we looking for? We're looking for this wicked world to be destroyed. And the promise of the Lord is that a new kingdom would be established, which dwelleth in righteousness. And what is righteousness? These words that we read on these pages. All right. So the kingdom of heaven was already within them. Why? Because they were Israelites. You're looking for the kingdom, but the kingdom is already there. Here we go. Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Haoshai. I knew I couldn't word it. 2 Ezra 2 and 13. Oh, snap. The brother put it up. Okay. Go and you shall receive. That brother is linked in the spirit. You brothers too. 2 Ezra 2 and 13. Go and you shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. That's why it says measured out at times diligently. That's the one. I didn't know the brother put it up. So the word for prepare, hetoimazo, it says to make ready, prepare, to make the necessary preparations, get everything ready. So what are we going through right now? We're going through a rehearsal. You know, we're the servants, the maidens, if you will, that are making sure that the hall is clean, the chairs are all in place, the tablecloths are down, the napkins, the forks, the spoons, the knives, the cups, making sure that the yayan is on there, the food is prepared to perfection, putting everything on the table that needs to be on there. So when the Lord comes, all they got to do is just eat, so to speak, That's what we're doing. We're preparing the way for the king. I forget what scripture it is in the Greek. It speaks about, you had servants that were led before the king that would make sure that the roads were passable, that any stones or any potholes or whatever were all nice and smooth. So when the king came, he would have a smooth transition, didn't have to stop for an hour or two, to remove some debris out the road. It was already taken care of. All right. So let's go back. Let's read this again. I love this precept. And this is taken directly from the book of Isaiah. I believe that's the 64th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. See? And those that love him will do what? Do his will. So next time, we find ourselves in the complaining spirit, know that there's something great waiting for us. Don't lose sight of that hope. That's why individuals, that lose sight of that hope, they get loosed from the anchor, which is Yahweh Shai. But the Most High had revealed them unto us by his spirit. Right. By his word. We beholding that every day. To this day. 2 Corinthians 3 and 16. Nevertheless, when they shall turn to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the veil shall be taken away. Now, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is that spirit. And where the spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. That's what we have right now. But we all with open face, beholding as it in a glass, the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. See, so we beholding that. Right now, at one time it was dark, but now it's becoming more and more clear the closer we get to the end. 1 Corinthians 3:13 and 9. For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. Right? Verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know, even as also I am known. That's right. Oh, beautiful. So it was prepared. Man, the water, bro. Drawn from the oriental custom of sending on before kings on their journeys persons to level the roads and make them passable, to prepare the minds of men to give the Messiah, Yahushai, a fit reception and secure his blessings. See? Beautiful. Brothers are on it. Doggone it. All right, so back in 1 Corinthians 2:10, but the Most High hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit, for the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of the Most High. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so, the things of the Most High knoweth no man, but the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's why it says, that we have the Spirit of Yahushai. Know ye not that, you are the Spirit of Yahushai, lest you be reprobate. It says, now we have received not the spirit of the world. Why? Because the spirit of the world it leads to death, destruction, because the whole world lieth in wickedness. But the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai leads to life eternal. And this hope in us is what keeps us pure. Matter of fact, let's see. How is that worded? Let me just check something. I can't think of how it's worded. Sometimes, the scripture just, it's like you can read it in your mind, but sometimes it's a uphill battle. Oh, this hope in him. Woo! 1 John 3:3. And a matter of fact, let's actually go there. Let's go there. 1 John 3:1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of the Most High. Woof. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. That's why it says, man, this is a good one, a good link up with St. John 14:17. Even the spirit of the truth from the world cannot receive. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. What did Yahushua say? If they accept my words, they will accept yours. If they don't accept your words or my words, they won't accept yours. Hey, this truth is just cut and dry. Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it does not yet appear what we shall be, right? Because we know by reading it, but we haven't experienced it. And once the Lord comes back and delivers us, Lord, will we be the elect? That changed body, even though we read about it, we never experienced that. And that's something we're going to experience. Lord's will we be the elect. You see? And once that change comes, even though we read about it and we could imagine certain things about it, we have no clue or idea really of what it's going to be like. It says, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. And that's why the Apostle Paul said, he's waiting to be changed into his likeness. King David said that, and also the Apostle Paul said that these vile bodies be changed, into his glorious body. For we shall see him as he is, as he's coming in his total splendor and magnificence. No blemish, no spot, the most perfect underneath the Most High Yahweh. It says, and every man that hath this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. So we have this hope that when the Lord comes back, he's going to deliver us and change us. And that's what keeps us pure. That's what keeps us anchored in place. Not of ourselves, because we're filthy. All our righteousness together is as filthy rags. And as Elder Pastor said years ago, and that stuck with me. It's like if you take a fine-tooth comb and you comb our life, you find all kind of flaws and inconsistencies and wicked you know. That's why our hope is in Yahweh Shai, not in ourselves, not in anything righteous that we could do, but because the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai said that he was going to deliver us if we did his will. So going back to 1 Corinthians 2:12, now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of the Most High. That's that mark, that tawah from Ezekiel 9:4, the exemption from judgment. Let's see, the brother put it in an Amplified Bible. 1 John 3:3, and everyone who has this hope confidently placed in him purifies himself, just as he is pure, holy, undefiled, guiltless. Yeah. Ephesians 1:7, beautiful. In whom we have redemption through his blood. Yeah. The forgiveness of sins according to the riches of his grace. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we do the best that we can. Whatever we're shortchanged on, or whatever we don't have enough to fulfill, Yahweh Shai got the rest for us. You know, he is our lawyer in the heavens. You know, he is our justifier. There's no other way to the Father but through him. And that's why, you know, when you read many scriptures, but one in particular, Romans 10, you know, that salvation is in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And then Acts, the 4th chapter, there's no salvation in any other name. That's Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. For Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, thoughts of peace and not of evil, right? To give you an expected end. Yeah, man. It says that we might know, matter of fact, back in 1 Corinthians 2:12 in the middle, but the spirit which is of the Most High, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of the Most High, right? And we are not ignorant of the Lord's, you know, mission, for lack of better words. I'll start at, matter of fact, you know, I just go straight to the point. 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. How much more now? The Lord told that to Ezra, that from the time of Adam things were evil and wicked, how much more to the time of the threshing come. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. See? Be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, because that's our guiding light. That is our guiding light. Job 16:19 in the Amplified, even now, behold, my witness is in heaven, which is Yahweh Shai, and my advocate, who vouches and testifies for me, is on high. Yeah. Yahweh Shai has always been there. Remember, I do daily the things that please him, or something like that. Yahweh Shai is daily the Most High's delight. Back in 1 Corinthians 2:13, which things also we speak, not in words which man's wisdom teacheth, right? Because the things that we teach are not accepted in most circles, because they're looking at it from a perspective or a point of view of man's understanding, man's wisdom, man's reasoning. The Lord said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my thoughts and your thoughts, and my ways and your ways. You know, this truth, you know, puts you on a whole different frequency, on a whole different level. It elevates you above everything and everybody else. And that's why most times when you're around people, you just want to get the hell away from them. I had a dream about a week and a half ago or so. And in the dream, I don't know, it was like in the streets. And there were people around. And my spirit was like stirred up. And then I was telling the people that was near me, say, y'all don't feel that, y'all don't, you don't, And I said, I said that's what, something along the lines. That's why I hate people. They're just evil. I forget exactly how I put it. And then as people were walking by, my spirit was just like grieved. And then I looked, I turned, and there was this one individual standing there. I said, but not you, brother. You all right. But the rest of the people, they were just like aggravating my soul in the dream. And that's really how you feel when you go out here in the world. You go and do your business and people just piss you off. That's what they call a misanthrope, a people hater, or a man, because really misanthrope, the word and thrope goes to the word anthropos, which is man hater, or hater of man. Like you have a misogynist, is a hater of women, or misanthrope is just a hater of mankind, pretty much. So it says, not in words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual things. And if a person is not spiritual, they will not be able to comprehend that. They will not. This is why when you speak to people in the world, they piss you off, because we're on two different wavelengths. Things that I want to talk about, you're not going to want to talk about. Things that you want to talk about, I don't want to know nothing about that. Now, we know there's people in the world that are not in the truth, that you might talk, some brothers, they like sports, they talk about sports, it's a pastime, or you might talk about, some rappers or whatever, talk about movie stars or different movies. But for the most part, spiritual talk, it's not going to jive. It's not going to jive, baby. It says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. See? Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. And if he's not a spiritual man, or she's not a spiritual woman, guess what? It's going to go over their head. It's going to be annoying to them. They're not going to receive it. Matter of fact, 2 Corinthians 2 and 14. Now thanks be to the Most High, which always causes us to triumph in Yahushua. So whether a person accepts this or not, we still triumph. We still got the victory. This is why the Apostle Paul says some preach Yahushua indeed of sincerity, others of contention. But he said, either way it's taught, I'm going to rejoice. Why? Because the word is still being fulfilled. So it doesn't matter if you don't accept this or not. You're not going to stop the plans of the Lord. So what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? The Lord forbid. Let the Most High be true and every man a liar, that thou mightest overcome when thou art judged. It says, and maketh manifest the savor of his knowledge by us in every place, because we have this gift in these earthen vessels. It says, for we are unto the Most High a sweet savor of Yahushua. So this is the most important thing. What we're doing is a sweet savor to Yahweh in the eyes of Yahushua. And remember, the message of the Lord, that's why the scriptures speak about the narrow path, the straight gate. It's not going to be accepted by the masses. And things that are accepted by the masses don't make it right. It says, in them that are saved and in them that perish. So it doesn't matter if they receive it or not. The message that we're bringing out is acceptable and sweet to the Most High. To the one, we are the savor of death unto death, right? Because you have those individuals that don't receive it. That's why Yahweh told them, wicked Pharisees and them, what? You seek to kill me because my word has no place in you. Why? Because they are not spiritual. They are not spiritually discerned. They cannot receive it. It's unpleasant to them. It says, and to the other, the savor of life unto life. But the ones that are like-minded, when you speak of these things, it's going to be like a lovely song. Now, you have songs you get tired of. you have classics you get tired of, but you have those timeless classics that no matter how many times somebody plays them over and over again, you just can't get tired of it because it's just one of those songs. Well, this is that song. Like for me, I love the group, Toto. This goes way back, and the one of the main songs. I mean, I like a lot of their songs, but one of the main songs I like is Africa. For some reason, when that song comes on, it's just I've heard it a million times, and I could hear it another million times. It's one of those timeless classics that you just don't get tired of. Well, that's what this truth is. It says, and who is sufficient for these things? Right. Who is sufficient for this? The ones that are unto death, they're not going to receive it. The ones that are unto life, they're going to receive it. It says, for we are not as many which corrupt the word of the Most High. Right. And that's why we tell you everything. We give you everything. There's nothing that we don't give to you of this word that we know. We tell you the good, tell you the bad. We tell you, the sweet. We tell you the bitter. We give you the nastiness of the scriptures, prophecy, exhortation, everything. I don't think there's a topic out there that Great Millstone hasn't covered, beginning with the apostles on down. But as of sincerity, but as of the Most High, in the sight of the Most High, speak we in Yahushua, because at the end of the day, we are chargeable if we don't teach you the right thing. That's why the Apostle Paul said, I have not shunned to declare unto you all the gospel of the Lord, the whole thing. The Lord told Ezekiel, eat the whole roll. Not part of the roll and spit out what you don't like. The whole thing. And some are not willing to do that. Why? Because parts of the gospel cause persecution. And a lot of them are not willing to be persecuted for this word. All right. I think that's. I had nothing, prepared. I just threw myself at the mercy of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai in the spirit, and the Lord, Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai guided me, allowed me to, edify you brothers and few sisters, out there. And I pray that this lesson was edifying. To the next time I say, Shalom.